Have you ever felt like you've messed up so badly that there's no way back? Well, I want to tell you a story that might just change your mind. It's a famous one, told by Jesus himself, about a father and his two sons. The younger son, one day, goes up to his dad and says, "Dad, can I have my share of the inheritance now?" Now, that's a pretty bold move. It's like saying, "I wish you were already gone." But the father, incredibly, agrees. He divides his property between his two sons. Not long after, this younger son packs his bags, cashes in his inheritance, and takes off for a distant country. He's got a pocket full of money and a heart full of adventure. And let me tell you, he lived it up. He threw wild parties, spent money like it was water, and lived a life with no rules. He was the life of the party, surrounded by friends as long as the cash was flowing. It probably felt amazing, like he was on top of the world, free from his father's house. But we all know that kind of fun doesn't last forever. And it didn't. Soon, he had spent every last penny. Just as his money ran out, a severe famine hit the entire country. Suddenly, he was in desperate need. The parties stopped, the friends disappeared, and he was left all alone and broke. He had to find a job, and the only one he could get was feeding pigs for a local farmer. Now, for a Jewish boy, this was the lowest of the low, and he was so hungry, so utterly starving, that he longed to fill his stomach with the pods the pigs were eating. But no one gave him anything. Can you imagine that? He went from lavish feasts to envying pig food. He hit rock bottom. He was sleeping with the pigs, smelling like the pigs, and eating what he wished the pigs were eating. He was humiliated, forgotten, and starving. He finally realized that the servants in his father's house had it better than him. They had more than enough food to eat, while he was here, dying of hunger. It was in that pigsty, in the middle of his misery, that he came to his senses. A thought sparked in his mind. How many of my father's hired servants have food to spare? And here I am, starving to death. I will set out and go back to my father. He started rehearsing a speech in his head, planning exactly what he would say. "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Just make me like one of your hired servants." He wasn't expecting a welcome party. He wasn't even hoping to be called a son again. He just wanted a job, a roof over his head, and some food in his belly. He had a glimmer of hope that maybe, just maybe, his father would take him back as a worker. So he got up and started the long, lonely journey home. He was probably dirty, skinny, and wearing rags. Every step must have been filled with a mix of shame, fear, and a tiny bit of hope. He was probably replaying that apology speech over and over again, bracing himself for rejection, for an "I told you so," or maybe just a cold, silent stare. He was preparing for the worst, but hoping for the bare minimum. But here's where the story takes a turn you might not expect. While he was still a long way off, his father saw him. Imagine this old man. Maybe he'd been watching that road every single day, just hoping. And the moment he caught a glimpse of that familiar figure, he didn't wait. He didn't hesitate. He was filled with compassion. He ran. The father ran to his son. He threw his arms around him and kissed him. All the dirt, the smell of the pigs, the shame, none of it mattered. Before the son could even get his whole practiced speech out, stammering, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son." The father was already calling out to his servants, "Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. And bring the fatted calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate." The son wanted to be a servant, but the father restored him as a son instantly. The robe symbolized honor, the ring signified authority and sonship, and the sandals were for a son, not a slave. And the fatted calf? That was reserved for the most special of occasions. This was a full-blown, no-holds-barred celebration. The father's joy was overflowing. He turned to everyone and declared, "For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." The party started, the music played, and the house was filled with joy. But not everyone was happy. The older brother had been out working in the field. When he came near the house, he heard music and dancing. He called one of the servants and asked what was going on. "Your brother has come home," the servant replied, "and your father has killed the fatted calf because he has him back safe and sound." The older brother became angry and refused to go in. He felt it was completely unfair. He had been the good son, the one who stayed, the one who worked hard every single day. He had never disobeyed his father's orders. Yet, his father had never thrown a party like this for him. His father came out and pleaded with him. But the older son vented his frustration. "Look, all these years I've been slaving for you and never disobeyed your orders. Yet you never gave me even a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours who has squandered your property with prostitutes comes home, you kill the fatted calf for him." The father's response is so gentle and so powerful. "My son," the father said, "you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate and be glad, because this brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." The father's love wasn't about who was more deserving. It was about restoration. It was about grace. Both sons were loved, but one had been lost, and his return was a reason for immense joy. So what's the big idea here? This isn't just a story about a dysfunctional family. It's a picture of God and us. How many times do we wander away, thinking we know better, chasing things that we believe will make us happy, only to end up empty and broken, far from home? The incredible news of this story is God's reaction when we decide to turn back. He's not standing there with his arms crossed, tapping his foot, waiting for a perfect apology. He's watching the road, waiting. And the moment he sees us, even from a long way off, he runs. He runs to meet us, to embrace us, to welcome us home, not as servants, but as sons and daughters. He doesn't care about the mess we've made. He just wants his child back. So if you feel like you're in that pigsty today, if you feel lost, unworthy, or far from God, please know this: the Father is waiting for you. He loves you with an extravagant, unconditional love. You don't have to clean yourself up first. You just have to decide to come home. He's ready to throw a party for you. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched you, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content that we hope will encourage you. Have a blessed day.